I ain't with all of that. What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Hey Sarge, my journey as a correction officer. Today, I want to talk about a subject that's real. It's a subject that a lot of people gonna fall into this category, and it's not about separating. It's just about what is. And I ain't even gonna hold you. I'm gonna tell you straight up. It's talking about brown nosers. Yeah, I'm talking about those people who go around sucking up to everybody with a little bit of authority, a little bit of power. They suck up to these people and they find themselves mysteriously in a position that they haven't even worked for, that they haven't even earned. Now, I gotta say this. Sometimes some people just got a certain thing and people are gonna favor those people. That's just what it is. Like it could be something about that person, something that they possess that says they're different and they're gonna move a little different. And I've experienced those people. I have been that person, and I saw other people who was that person. But my thing was when I encountered someone like that, I made sure they knew, look, don't get comfortable because you're on a different path. There's something else about you. There's something different about you. So don't get comfortable. Strive for whatever it is you're striving for and go for it. Move for it. Don't get stuck. That was my speech. But those other people, I really didn't like dealing with them. In my eyes, it's bad if you're a brown noser because you'll do anything to anybody. You don't care about nobody but yourself. And a lot of people probably ain't gonna like you. All right, they just probably ain't gonna like you. It's just how it is. But if that's the game you want to play your game because eventually it's gonna backfire. Eventually, you're gonna find yourself out in the cold. Eventually, you're gonna find yourself trying to get back in good graces with the people you did wrong. Or you may end up somewhere you thought you wouldn't be. But that's what you get when you play the game that way. So let's get into it. When I first started, I didn't know like the ins and out of people who brown nose, but you would kind of hear stories about, oh, that person do this. Oh, you know why? Because they're friends with whoever. Now the way that I was brought up in my career was if you follow that chain of command, and if you're an officer, you do what your sergeant say. Your sergeant deal with the lieutenant. Your sergeant deal with the captain or whatever. It was a chain of command. It wasn't like do this or else. It was a respect thing. It was a trust thing because you trust the people that was over you, and you give them that respect. You let them carry that respect because if you respect them, they're gonna respect you. They're gonna take care of you. You're gonna take care of them. That's the way I was brought up. But it's changed so much. Nowadays it's like it's so off that it almost don't matter. I ain't gonna say it don't matter. It seemed like it almost don't matter. But that's how I was taught. Respect. When I was in my position as an officer, I stayed in my place. I didn't try to go over here and talk to all of these different people and mingle and no, I did what I was supposed to do. I let my sergeant lead me and I followed. Now, officers, I talked to other officers and we got along good. For the most part, I got along with pretty much everybody. I can't say that it was a lot of people I didn't get along with, but I just maneuvered that way. Then you see these guys who come in and they're officers and they're with the captain. Why are you with the captain? How you skip over the sergeants, the lieutenants? How you hanging out with the captain? Because those are the people who probably knew that person from the streets or they knew somebody who worked there and they were related to somebody. So now it's like a favor. And it's favoritism. It's a lot of favoritism within corrections, believe it or not. I never played that game. I've tried to be fair across the board, but it's a lot of it. And I got some stories about that. But you see these people who get close with the captains or whatever, and it's because they probably know somebody. Corrections is big, but it's also small. Somebody knows somebody. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna find somebody that you went to school with, especially around where I'm from. It's like everything is connected, and it's gonna be favors in there. So when you see these people who started out with you, maybe, and y'all on the same, y'all been there the same amount of time, but they're hanging out with the captain, or they're hanging out with people, or they're acting like they have way more experience than they really have. Those people probably brown nosing. Those people are probably just trying to be it. They're trying to be in the in crowd. And a lot of times those people get themselves messed up too, because they end up in a situation that they can't handle. Now you're in some trouble. You get what I'm saying? But I always played by my own card. I never tried to ride nobody coattail. If I knew somebody, I knew them, but that was it. I ain't finna be, I ain't finna be trying to go around you riding your wave, because I don't do that. But these people, they have no, they don't care. They don't care. They get out of whatever work it is to be done. If they know that they were supposed to be working one place, they be like, oh, I'm gonna go talk to so and so to see if they'll move me. And they'll go to so and so, and guess what? They'll move that person. And then it becomes unfair, because I'm in a place I don't want to work either, but I'm gonna go there and I'm gonna work it. But because you don't want to work there and you got good graces with this person, you go ask them and they move you around. Now somebody else getting moved around. See what I'm saying? So that's how it is with brown nosing. And I saw so much of it. Like, I know that when I was working at certain places, when the captain came, I would leave. I would remove myself from the area, because I don't need to talk to you. I don't need to talk about what y'all talk about. I'm gonna just go over here and do what I do. You talk to the person in charge. I don't need to be dealing with you. And it was like that. It wasn't like disrespect. It's just how it was. But you got some people that are come in there and try to have all these conversations, trying to find out who they know, and I ain't with all that. That's just me. It ain't in my blood. It ain't in my DNA to be that type of person. I just did my job, and sometimes the captains or whoever, they would notice that, and they'll be like, hey, sit down, let's talk. Now that's different. They're telling me to come talk to them. It ain't like I'm trying to pry information from them. They want to talk, so let's talk. And like I said, it was not a disrespect thing. It's just my job was to take care of my sergeant and let my sergeant take care of everything else. And if you take care of your sergeant will take care of you. And I'll get into that conversation as well. But we talking about these brown nosers. It was guys I went to school with, right? And like I said, we worked at the male prison and the female prison. And you travel, but you meet the same people over and over. But when we were at the male prison, I stood my ground. I said what I had to say. I did what I had to do. I met the situations where they were, but I did not completely change when I went to a female prison. And this may be getting a little bit off topic, but because this person had worked at a male prison and then went to the female prison, guess what he did? He knew somebody at the female prison that came from the male prison, and now this guy started acting like he was totally like somebody else. I didn't really even recognize it was the same guy, but because he was under that person with the authority, he had them got his way in with him, and now he was acting like he was something that he wasn't somewhere else. I hope that makes sense to you. His whole attitude changed. He got around this one captain and acted invincible. He acted like he didn't have to do anything. Like he had so much time and so much experience, which he had time and experience. I can't take that away from him, but he multiplied it. He made it like this guy was unrecognizable. Like as far as his demeanor and his action, I had to call back and I was like, is this so and so? They was like, yeah. And I was like, man, he over here acting different, like I didn't recognize him. But because he had got in that place of authority with somebody who was in more authority than him, he carried that weight around. But like I said, those type of people are always going to get caught up in some stuff. And that's what happened to him. It was, I don't want to say too much, but it was some stuff going around with some workers. And the captain that he was close with said something out of the way to that lady, from what I was told, allegedly, okay? He said something to her that was like, kind of, he probably shouldn't have said it, but she actually liked that captain. So by him saying that, it was like, no big deal. You know, it ain't a problem until it's a problem. Like, she liked him. He said something to her. She kind of agreed with him. She wanted to flirt back with him. But when this sergeant said it, oh, she filed paperwork. She found paperwork. And once you play with that, there's no coming back from that. So now, by him trying to be like the person he been idolizing, now he got himself in trouble. Allegedly. So some things transpired and he had to end up leaving. But he did all of this because he was brown nosing. Like, you can't brown nose yourself into a position. Like, you can. You can brown nose yourself into a position. And I've seen it because somebody might get in good with a captain. Oh, let me do this for you. Let me do this. They go around doing all of this do boy stuff and do girl stuff just so they can get in with this person so they can have a little bit of leverage to do what they want. Okay, that's going to last for a little while. But what happened when this captain promotes? What happened when this captain leaves? Now, when a new captain come in, you're going to think that you could do all of this stuff. Guess what you're going to be doing? You're going to get shot right back down to the totem pole. And the whole shift going to let that captain know, that person right there, they do this and they do this. Some captains might go along with it. Some may not. But if you're that person, oh, you're going to get tossed around. Guess who's going to be disgruntled then? You are. So I just say don't do it. Don't do it. Don't be no follower. Be yourself. That's all you got to be. Be yourself. Everybody else is taken. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I don't understand the concept. And I've seen so many of these stories. And one that directly happened to me, I felt like it was some foolishness. That's what I felt. I had this one captain and he had this one officer and they became friends and they linked up and they were like, I don't even know. I don't even know who to compare them to. But they were peanut butter and jelly. They was Tom and Jerry. They was left and right. If you see this person, you see this person. And let me tell you, this person had no time. This person really didn't have no experience. But because they were into the same things, they clicked up. And it was like the favoritism was all out in the open. They didn't care about it. Everybody on the compound was upset about it. But they didn't care. Long story short, this guy who had been following this captain got himself into some trouble. Guess what the captain did? Nothing. He didn't even stick up for him. This guy had to leave the institution and go somewhere else. But it was all because he was brown nosing. I have been friends with captains, only two. I would say cordial. I would not go to them asking them for stuff. I wouldn't expect them to treat me any different. Matter of fact, one of the captains told me, you know, when I first came here, I thought you did not like me. But that wasn't the case. I told her, my job is to make you look good. That is my job. I'm supposed to be all in your face. I'm supposed to come to work, show up, do what I'm supposed to do, and let's have an easy shift. That's what I'm supposed to do. That's it. I ain't trying to do nothing else. Now, we can sit around and have a conversation and talk, but I don't need to be all chasing you everywhere you go. That's just me. And you could take this information and do what you will with it, but that's what I did. That's how I handle it. And I just don't want to be a brown noser. Never want to be labeled as that because I want to be my own person. I want people to know me for who I am, my work ethic, and not because I'm running around chasing people and I ain't with all of that. It ain't in my blood. It ain't in my DNA. So I hope that this helped. I hope that the information was useful. I hope that you can apply it. Drop me some conversations down in the comment section. Let me know if you ever deal with brown noses. And this ain't all in corrections. It's everywhere. But from my experience in corrections, it's so bad. It's so horrible. And I could talk about this probably for another 35 minutes, but I won't do it. Drop me some comments in the comment section. Hit the like button, subscribe, do all of that good stuff. Until the next time. Peace.